Okay, we are live. Yes, wonderful. Happy Monday morning. It's Monday here in Norway, at least. Uh, these war movies, Vietnam War movies, World War II movies, like Saving Private Ryan. Um, those movies are usually made for not only for the just making money, you know, they're made for a reason. They are should be seen as a reminder and a warning. And I'll get back to that. Let me just let me just say hello to the good people joining here in the chat. It's funny, this channel is not growing. But seems like it's just the same people joining here, which is wonderful because we have this awesome community here. So we have KP Heathen, who is a moderator. We have Jody, Tech Test, Wesley, Josiah, and more people. And Confederado says, yo, Gaudio. Wonderful. And more people are joining as we speak. Let me get straight to the point here. I promise, I'm not only going to talk about the war in Ukraine, which will be a European war very soon. Not only going to talk about that, but I'll keep beating that anti-war drum. And there's a reason for that. I care. I care, and I think that what they are doing now is very, very stupid. Or maybe it's not so stupid that they know what they're doing. It's just that they're not being honest about the goal. You have the anti-war movies. Saving Private Ryan is an anti-war movie. It portrays war in, I've heard, I've heard people say that it's quite a realistic depiction of war. There is, among other things, a very horrible knife fight there, which is very different from the knife fights in action movies. It's horrible because it's horrible to watch because it is horrible in real life, and we should not send people into situations like that. But it seems like, and I'm very disappointed about this fact, it seems like, at least here in Norway, and I don't know if it's a majority, but we can't really, the politicians, they are not normal. So, but anyway, apart from the politicians, I think there's still a majority who think that young kids should go serve in the military, and Labour Party now are suggesting that all young people must serve or go through a shorter time of so-called military survival training, which is funny because they have no fucking clue what they're doing. And I can talk about that in another topic. I'll say it now. Okay, so you have military survival training. Of course, there are survival training and proper survivalists in military forces around the globe, of course, but no, that's not what they will be trained in doing. They will be trained as soldiers, which is about working as a group towards the goal of mainly killing people. And it's about suppressing human instincts and so on. Survivalism, I know, quite a bit about that. Actually, I try not to blow my own trumpet, And the videos I have made about those techniques and so on are thoroughly hidden by YouTube. You need to be a girl in a yoga pant and with a dog to get views making videos like that. But or you need to be a Christian man who pays to get views, or something like that. I'm neither of those. But anyway, so they're going to, that's the Labour Party, and they decided that all young people in Norway will go through some military training. We already have the mandatory conscription here, but there are not enough, they don't need all, we have more young people than they need people in the military. So not all the young people are picked. But if the state says that you're going to serve in the military, they will come and get you if you refuse. That goes up to the age of 55. So the idea is basically that these kids who are thoroughly dependent on their smartphone, how will they be able to wage war without a smartphone connection? I don't know, but they will be they will be coached into becoming proper warriors, killers, and survivalists. It's laughable. But anyway, that seems to be the song they are singing here. That seems to be the narrative. That seems to be it. And I don't hear anyone pointing at this and saying that, first of all, it's just highly unrealistic, and secondly, it's unethical, and thirdly, why the hell would you do that? Now, yes, in the USA you have the military is a job. It's very different and a much, much better arrangement, by the way. So I'll just quickly jump to the next topic. All these things here are connected. So tribalism. We have tribalism, and we have tribalism driven by emotions. Now, that seems to be how things are working these days. People don't think anymore. They just react, and they react based on their emotions. Now, I made a video on the main channel. It was uploaded Saturday evening, Norwegian time. And it was about Elon Musk's Dodge, or rather, not about Elon Musk's Dodge, but the why. Why are they doing that? Why? And I said that there are arguments supporting what they are doing, and there are arguments against it. But that's not what the video is about. I'm trying to answer the why. Why? And if you want to know what I think is the reason, you can watch that video. It's the latest uploaded video on the main channel, and it's linked to in the video description. But I should have known better, of course, because people don't watch the videos. Well, people do watch the videos, but those who are most eager at sharing their opinion, their emotional opinion, they don't watch the video. And I knew that. I could see that because they thought it was an attack on Elon Musk and Dodge. And all the Elon Musk fanboys, they came out there attacking me. And clearly they hadn't watched the video, which was a reminder for me that people are thoroughly tribal. They are thoroughly emotional, and they lack critical thinking. So one thing is you can argue for the Dodge program. You can argue for that. You can say that, well, the USA has reached its debt ceiling and they have to do it, and so on. That's not what my video was about. It was about the why. Why are they doing it? But people find it much more. They just react based on their emotions. People are very snowflakey. I find that people on the left and the right politically are just as snowflakey, all of them. There is no difference there. So now I wrote 3 things in the title. Can you remind me? Can you remind me? I should have made a note of that. I can't see it here. Let's see here. But basically, the tribalism is interesting because, and they have been doing proper research on this. When you assign to, or when you're part of a tribe, and in this modern world, a tribe will be not like a old-fashioned tribe, but rather a fellowship of common beliefs and so on. And one tribe is, for instance, a religious tribe, like as I've talked about before, the American Christian nationalists, that's a tribe. The woke people, that's a tribe. And those, the Joe Rogan, Elon Musk fans with that kind of neo, what should we call it? That kind of so-called modern, I don't want to use the word masculinity, but that kind of image of a man that they have, I guess that's a tribe as well, and they will. So here's my point. So the research says that even if you disagree with the bullet points of what you need to believe in, what you need to say, if you are in the tribe, you will tell yourself that those bullet points, you agree with all of them, even if you know that it's not true, because the drive and to be part of the drive is stronger than your drive to follow common sense and logic. And as time goes, you will then actually believe those things. Let's see here. Let's see. So if we connect this with the situation here in Europe with the coming European war, I mean, it's driven by tribalism because it seems to be very difficult for people to have a sense of critical thinking. And I think the reason is that if you have a sense of critical thinking, it requires you to admit that you were wrong. Sometimes you can see that you were clearly wrong, and people have a hard time doing that. And it gets harder and harder the more tribal you are, the more invested you are in that tribe. Why do you have to admit that you were wrong? Because you what comes with a sense of critical thinking is a desire to learn more. And as you learn more, you learn that, I'll give you one example, okay? My knowledge of physics and atoms is based on what I learned in school. And I know that that's sort of outdated now. So if I were to explain to you about atoms and physical rules, so to speak, concerning atoms, I would probably say a lot of stupid things. So instead of doing that, let's say I did that, and then I go and read updated books about atoms and all of, all of that. And then I come back, I do another live stream. I would then have to say, well, you know what? I was wrong. I was wrong about atoms because I didn't know what I was talking about. And I told you basically what I remember from what I learned in school. But that's many years ago. So, so with critical thinking and a desire to learn more goes hand in hand. But what I see is that people are not, first of all, they do not like critical thinking. And they will say that, oh, I am a critical thinker, but nobody else is. But it's, I can see, in the comment section to my videos and so on, that people react based on emotions. And also, what is driving social media? What's the main motor of social media? Emotions. And I can tell that. I could show you numbers, show you the statistics. Those of my videos that, what's the word? That create an emotional response are the videos that get the most views, because that's how the algorithm is made now. Now, being emotional is great. That's good. But not if you use that emotions to try to pull other people down, So, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I just also, before I get to the chat, I also wanted to say that now, as a novelist, it's very difficult now, and the whole business is going down the drain because of AI, first of all. The publishers are eager to have their AI created, or rather to those books. You're already probably reading. If you're reading an recently published crime novel, you're reading an AI created book. I can say that because the author has probably used AI and then edited things. Sorry, but that's how it is. Not all of them, but it's quite common already. That's one reason. And the other reason is that people are not really reading books anymore. The younger generations are hardly reading books. So yeah, I think that's very sad. And also, I think that if you don't read books, you don't train your mind. You don't train your mind to be, what's the word? Okay, I can't find the word. So if you only consume fast food, mental fast food, like TikTok videos and things like that, if you only consume that, you never train your mind to take in information and think critically about that information, because that short video will be it will be made to have you it's made to create an emotional response, and that's all. That's all. That can be a good thing, you know. There are motivational little videos that can help you through the day and so on. It's good. But when people don't read books anymore, you get a more stupid population. Okay, and that must be connected. I'm thinking that must be connected to that lack of critical thinking and that tribalism driven by emotions. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, well, I have statistics on this, you know, and because I've been making videos for 9 years on YouTube, and I can see how it has changed over time. Uh, um, yeah. Um, I'm going to get into. I'm going to make a video about why my books are not in English yet, as per today. It's quite sad how it's become, but yeah. But I won't be getting into that now. Someone says, put the helmet on, it's time. Yeah, well, and yeah, let's scroll up a little bit. Orochi Fox, hi there. And Tron, hello. Carola, good to see you. Nutritionist, you're saying that nutrition is not just what you eat, reading is an important part of it. Sharp Canine says this never shows up in new video in subscriptions. Yeah, I know. I don't know why YouTube is doing that, but clearly they do not want anyone to know that I'm here. Black Pigeon Pilled is here. Thank you, Luca. A like. That's nice. Yeah. Thinking, just science says, thinking is like a muscle. You have to exercise it to improve. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, you know, the world is changing. The world has always been changing. Now it's changing quite quickly. I worry, of course, about the war. I worry about the lack of critical thinking that is displayed in mainstream media. This idea that, you know, we need to send soldiers into Ukraine now, not only weapons, and we need to empty the Norwegian pension fund and spend that money on the war. We need to do all those things to prevent Russia from occupying more of Ukraine. We need to do all those things, they say, because if we don't do that, then Putin will be encouraged to attack other European countries. And as I've said before, if you look at this from the other side of the border, from the Russian side, wouldn't it be, if that happens, if you have boots on the ground, like European boots on the ground, lots of Norwegian, English, French, German soldiers in Ukraine fighting, creating a huge resistance there, wouldn't it be isn't it quite obvious that they will attack somewhere else if that happens? I'm not a military strategist, but that seems more likely. And these people know that, it's like they want the war to spread. And but you can't say that. You can't say that. And it is then you're a Putin lover or something like that. So you have to wonder why are they doing this, and why are people not questioning this? Well, some people are, of course, but not many. And is it just because of their lack of critical thinking, like people in general? Is that why? Because if you look at this and you apply some critical thinking, you can clearly see that yes, lemonade, this narrative that about Ukraine is owning Russia in this war, it's not true. It's not true. And I'm when I say that, I'm always accused of being on the side of Russia. But I mean, critical thinking again, and being able to look at the facts in an objective manner, it's so important. And if we do that, we can see that Ukraine is not winning that war. It's not, and it's not a big mystery, is it? But it's not. Now, Yard is asking, what will Ukraine do if they lose support from the West? Do you think give up or try to spread the war? It's I think if Ukraine loses all support from the West, I think Russia would grab more land. How much, I don't know. But I don't think Russia would then say, well, this is enough. No, I think they would just keep moving into Ukraine. And I don't see Ukraine being able to fight back much. Maybe for a little while, but not for a long time. Yeah, Patricia, it's time to end that ridiculous war. Yeah. Yeah. DPFX and the nines there. A bag of money. Yeah. Now, again, critical thinking, it's so important. And it's not easy. Sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes it's just tempting to react with your emotions. But yeah. But this is going to be a shorter live stream, this one. I have to go, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. We will talk soon. As always, stay strong.